Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have a weird one for you today. It's a blue 4 match, and this is my second time recording it because I completely messed up the first time and said it was red versus blue, East German on the opposite side, but it is in fact a West German 80 motorized deck, courtesy of Core Brainlets. So, very unusual deck, you don't really see that sort of thing too often, and I'm playing my Blue Dragons Mechanized against it, so classic battle of Mechanized versus Motorized. I do start off here with a quad stack of 80-point howitzers, just to sort of bring the pain to the expected infantry fight in Foxtrot and Charlie. And we can see right off the bat there's a nice use of the horizontality of this map by my opponent, so a bow 105 out here, as well as a jet that's circling two F4Fs, very cheap but effective, particularly at killing helicopters, so probably defending against that in the opener. And for my own opener, I am headed up toward Delta, so a quad stack of Hachikyuu Shiki with specialist infantry there, as well as a large push towards Foxtrot. And we can see right away, quad stacks of Fuchs Milans, and this is not going to be a match full of very much subtlety. It will just be a bit of a slugfest going on here, and you can see my K-55's already opening up, but a little bit of a mistake on my part. I had thought that he would go up and through the town, not over past it, and so my howitzer shells are falling on empty villages. Not a lot of success there. In the meantime, GSDF Rangers trying to make it to these buildings, and look at all of those either ATGMs or at least something back there. Let's take a look. And yeah, Parmalans, quad stacked and very far forward. They're going to be giving my Hachikyuu Shikis a really rough time. Of course, one shot, not quite enough to kill, but is enough to damage, and the Knonen Jagdpanthers are going to be, well, providing excellent backup. So, I am just dismounting everything here. We have Gongbyung, we have Sochung Su 85, and Jaeger, who, as I was recently reminded, are regular training, not shock, just up-vetted by the deck selection. I mean, taking an 80 deck and a motorized one at that is going to give you some very, very nice infantry. But my K1 is standing strong here, fending off these Cannon and Yag Panthers, 20 points each, so, I mean, he's going to have to mulch through a lot of them to make up the value, but look at that. Whole set of ATGMs going in, and probably another one I think as well. I think, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no hits. Wait. Okay, one hit, 20% so far, the effective accuracy of those. And bombers coming in, so Tornado 1DS is trying to pancake my push here, and let's see, Gongbyung, yep, Gongbung die, Sochung Su die, and my right side of infantry is pretty much gone. KFEs and K200s fighting a little too close comfort, well, closer than they would like anyway, and my infantry on the right-hand side has been flattened, so this is looking pretty bad at the moment. I don't really have a lot else. I'm not bringing in reinforcements yet. I was just trying to manage all this stuff, and it was not exactly going all that well. But the KAFVs are formidable. Of course, these guys are 15 points, but an autocannon, that's a very nice value. And really, they're just distracting a lot of stuff here, while the K1 has used, 10 shells so far, 11th on the way. A little bit late, that Fuchs Milan's already dead, but now the KAFVs, 5 more of them moving over, and a Nanayon Shiki G also trying to get around here and provide some supporting fire. And this is the specialist infantry that were in the Hachikyuu Shikis. M67 Hans will do yeoman's work against a motorized deck. Well, anything really that gets too close will not enjoy it very much. 13 AP isn't all that exceptional, but the long range on the recoilless rifles is very handy. I found they're actually phenomenal in Delta, particularly if you can get them up into these buildings here that can project pretty far forward with minimal signature. So, we do, well, have reinforcements finally coming in. Hachikyuu Shikis carrying more infantry and just sets of 2 this time around. I'm trying to have a bit more precision, but the air game has gone completely to my opponent, so we have another bombing run, probably going to pancake those Rangers, and 1 left. It's all you need for scouting, too, so this was a wonderful save there. I was quite happy to see that unit still alive, even if only technically still alive. And Sochung Su, a single man fighting against 4 remaining Jaeger, is going to be tough. Howitzers have been retargeted now, and let's see what they do. Yeah, the Jaegers moved out of the way. Good micro from Core, definitely. And with the last of my Sochung Su dying, I no longer have vision on that entire section. So there is also a PH1, that is the ATGM carrier, 50% accuracy, 35% stabilizer, and I'm trying to get the F4Fs, but my KF-16C is stunned, and evac ordered. Let's see if you can get out. It looks like no. So taken out by anti-air after not even killing a single F4F was a bit of an embarrassing display for, in theory, a really good air superiority fighter, but we have action now in the middle. Some of my Hachikyuu Shikis are dying as my opponent has gotten the bow forward enough to provide good fire there, but I mean, Sujo Buntai in pairs are moving up, more of them headed toward the center. You can't afford to lose Foxtrot completely if you're playing this side. I've already sort of messed up by allowing that to happen, really just not responding well to those bombing attempts. But if we take a look at the neutral for just a second, it's not like my opponent has escaped unscathed. So 4 individual men out of this group of originally 40 Jaeger, Fliegerfaust teams, BGS, and a couple reinforcing infantry moving forward, but otherwise, you can see, yeah, I mean, he has the air power sort of locked down, but on the ground is suffering because of it. I actually have way more defending my back end on this side of the map than he does, so yeah, I mean, it was certainly interesting. If we look, so Jaeger moving up, Jaeger here, probably should have been a couple resupply vehicles headed forward, but no joy for that. And Sujo Buntai will outduel BGS just given enough time. So, of course, that 62 Shiki is not phenomenal, but seeing this light resistance, and I mean, yeah, the Jaeger there get a nice shot on one of my vehicles, but seeing that light resistance, I'm moving up the Han teams, I'm moving up Sujo Buntai, we'll move up the Hachi Shiki shortly, just trying to put a little bit of pressure on that delta zone, and then Narayan Shiki G in the meantime moving back out of the way of those Jaeger, while my Sujo Buntai and Sochung Su, I was debating pushing here, but I thought, so a lot of people will pull back and resupply, and I've pushed into bad situations and traps, basically, before in Charlie, so I was trying to be a little bit careful. OH-60 trying to outrun a Dornier. I actually called out a Block 52D to try and kill it, which is just, this is a statement that I don't have the right tools, but we don't even get it because the Hachi-Q Shikis took care of it for me. So OH-60 does survive, and yeah, I mean, now I'm trying to shell stuff in his home zone. It was a bit of just like guess, see if I could get anything. May as well. Distraction, if nothing else, because I figured I wasn't really getting that effective fire on the Jaeger. So more paired Tornado 1DSs coming in. These guys, I didn't know they had access to them in the 80 deck, but yeah, okay, fair enough. And this time the bombs are headed after my IFVs. They will stun the Nanayan Shiki G, but not a lot of damage there. This guy doesn't have great armor, but those light HE bombs aren't going to be all that effective. Now we do have some stuff going on. The Bow PH1 trying to move over, and my OH-60 is going to be running, but I have no base defense. So ordinarily my regular Blue Dragons deck will have Mistral teams or Stinger teams, something like that, but I had to pull out a Biho. This is of course radar, which makes it a little bit vulnerable, but I don't think there's good seed in the 80 version of the West German deck. Also the Block 52D coming in after that F4F. We get the kill. I mean, he has a ton more, but it was good. It at least says you won't be able to just have that guy circling over my home zone forever for free. The Biho does get a kill on that ATGM helicopter, and the other one, if he gets too close, will suffer for it, but it looks like a little bit standoffish there. And now the Sujo Buntai and Sochung Su are moving up. So Jaeger sparring with Sujo Buntai, panic shaken, worried, so the Jaeger are getting the upper hand there, but K200's Hachi-Q Shiki's moving up on the left side of the zone, and I was debating just pushing through the center at this point, frankly, with the KF-25s, 40-50s, and Hachi-Q Shikis. There's good anti-infantry capability off these guys with those K4s, but I was kind of also distracted back here. There is, of course, a bow still back there, and I think I was calling in another Biho just to be better safe than sorry, but now answering artillery fire from the enemy player and nearly killed my CV, so, I mean, better lucky than good sometimes, but the F4F able to get out my K55s, panicked, damaged, but not killed. I should have moved them over to the FOB and repaired, because that is going to come back to bite me, but in the meantime, the Ford Sujo Buntai are doing some great work, intercepting Jaeger in their transports on the way. You can see the dead vehicle here. Oh, nope, that's a tank. Yeah, okay, well that was definitely not their vehicle, is it? Ah, it's right next to it. Yeah, there it is. The Fuchs that carried them in, killed by the Sujo Buntai, and the Leopard 1A4 is having to move over off the road a little early, but Tornadoes are coming in, trying to answer that. Block 52D coming out, let's see, one shot and miss, second shot, miss. Jeez. I think he missed all 4 of his AMRAMs. I didn't get a single kill, and Tornadoes do come in and punish my Sochung Su. But we're moving back, we're moving the Sujo Buntai, just 7 of them forward, and now finally some cargo vehicles of my own headed forward, trying to repair the tools I have on the field, as I realized I need more heavy armor. My initial K1, this guy's the same guy. He got injured badly enough, I actually put him back at the FOB, we're bringing him forward again now. Hopefully we'll be able to do some stuff here, and I know, a little light on recon, probably needed some more JSDF Rangers going forward, but I figured, maybe let's just mess around and see what a Hachi-Q Shiki up here can do. I was hoping maybe if my opponent's vision wasn't great, I might be able to surprise some of the Leopard 1A4s, but spotted by infantry in these towns, which I should have expected, and taken out pretty quick, does make that a bit of a waste of a vehicle. So, at this point, I was kind of sitting there going, well, that was a lot more intense than I expected. What the hell? Okay, sure. So, you know, we're not terrible here. I'm maybe time to bring out a CV. So the Mitsubishi CV headed up toward Foxtrot. But I want to show you guys this, because this was really kind of an accident, and one that was very annoying. This stretch of woods right here, he parked right in the middle of it. When I gave that move order, or when I called him out rather, I just sort of put it on that patch of woods, and the right side is in the zone, right here. This is in the zone. Where I am is out of the zone. And you don't... it's really hard sometimes when you're putting units in tree lines to get them to go exactly where you want them to. And I wanted him over just a tiny bit more to the right. A predictable position, perhaps, because it is, you know, woods and it's hiding in the back. And I've seen people have their CVs there before, but I thought, yeah, why not? This is, I mean, it's a Mitsubishi CV. You're not really supposed to have these anyway, but yeah, life is how it is. 5 individual F4Fs coming out to kill a single recon helo, and I was sitting there going, I mean, that's just a flex at that point. Maybe I can do something about that. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm not really sure. But here comes Block 52, KF-16C moving out and trying to take down a couple. We do get one right off the bat, but I mean, in large numbers, these guys do great work. So I did lose the KF-16C. Block 52 taking another shot. We do get a hit there, but evac ordered trying to get away from these guys, and definitely a good trade for my opponent, as my own Air Force is much smaller than his, so every bit that I lose is pretty bad. So far I've taken out 2 F4Fs, and I've lost 2 KF-16Cs. Not exactly a worthwhile trade. So just preparing myself a little bit here. I don't think the howitzers got many kills, but that at least, it looks like, yeah, no, that's overshooting. So I thought, well, maybe he's back here in this section, we'll be able to shoot him there. He's actually only one away with the Jaeger in the side group here, and one in the center. But yeah, so swing and a miss off the howitzers. I really should probably have reevaluated this, because all it did, and he brought in a bomber and bombed the K-55s all the way to my home zone because my air defense was that bad. A bit of a goofy match, I know. Yeah, I mean, mechanized decks. Playing against the 80 deck, I think, was kind of something that threw me through a bit of a loop, because I didn't really know what to expect. I don't have the most games under my belt as it stands right now. I mean, I still am a sergeant after all, although my opponent is a private. He certainly was not lacking in experience, and I don't know, it threw me through a loop. I was sitting there going, well, what tanks are there, what tanks aren't there, what planes are there, holy cow, there's so many F4Fs, what do I do? It's actually a really fun game for that reason, and later on he convinced me to make a crazy deck of my own, so we'll maybe get that in a couple of days, I think. I made a South Korea 85 deck. It was wonderful, just weird, but cool. So, Block 52 coming out, and the B-Hos are able to get an F4F, but I lose one of them to a Peace Rhine. Trying to get the Peace Rhine with Block 52, let's see what we can do. Missile, swing and a miss, and at this point I was evac ordered, trying to stay away from this F4F. So, traded an F4F for a B-Ho, and a really damaged second one. That was kind of impressive. I think it was just gun runs off the F4F, Frank. I mean, yeah, it was interesting. Lost track as well. Here comes Tornado, probably trying to take out that B-Ho's last known position, and I do only have a single K-55 left, so the other 3 were bombed into oblivion. But Tornado's just circling, and now we do have more sparring going on here. My M67 Hans dealing with some Fallschirmjäger up on that side, but dealing with is a strong word. This is sort of what I mean, though. Flux-Milan's coming in, and normally at this range you'd kind of be safe, not from things in this building up in the forward section, but from back here. And if I can get vision, the M67 Hans can do wonderfully, although I don't think I did get vision. Yep, there's the bomber. Down goes my B-Ho. Nearly killed a couple of Mistrals as well, so that was pretty brutal. But yeah, Leopard 1A4 is pretty far away, but not too far away for the M67 Hans, so one hit going in, and they're stunned. Let's see, and second shot, down he goes. Down goes another vehicle as well, hence, triple stack's just wonderful flexibility, and he's retreating. But let's see, which one will these take priority? Yeah, Fuchs killed, Leopard 1A4, 1 shot, 2 shot, single point of health left, and stunned off of that. So really kind of impressive firepower there. Another 2 volleys going in, down he goes. So I love putting recoilless rifles in these buildings. It's pretty amazing. Although the Sujabunta are just there for a bit of a backbone, trying to make sure that we don't get pushed too hard. But now we're going to be doing a little bit of pushing back. So Sochung-Su dealing with Jaeger, and now I have KFE-25s providing supporting fire that will make a large difference in that fight. You can see the Jaeger pulled back immediately. They want no part of that. But Hanchi Kyushiki's K200s defending on the left-hand side, and now Suja Buntai and Sochung Su pushing up. One group of Jaeger shouldn't be too hard to get through, but I've been consistently disappointed by Sochung Su. I mean, they're standard line infantry, and that's fine, but I don't know. They seem to lose against similar, and it might just be their gun, I'm not really sure, but I'll take a look at that later on. Sorry for the shaky cam, so much explosions and bombs going off that it's a little bit difficult. Suja Buntai make it back, we see the Fliegerfaust and the BGS, and I want those men dead and soon. But F4F circling above, preventing use of air support. Sochung Su getting mulched by Jaeger in the open ground, but we get up close to the Fliegerfaust. My other Sochung Su finally getting inside the same block. Should have done that before moving across the open ground. It would have prevented the other Sochung Su from getting stunned. But with that, and with the Suja Buntai moving forward, a couple F4Fs also taken out by Block 52D again. 3 shots, third one was a bit of a miss, and we get out before the F4Fs can get there. And even though we're only taking out a +1, over half the game still left to be played, but that is going to be a surrender from my opponent, as I don't think he had all that much left in the tank. Charlie is basically empty, and that's going to be all she wrote. So, in terms of kills and losses, 1690 kills, 1380 losses, pretty close. Honestly, K1 did just amazingly well during that whole game. And, I don't know, generally my infantry lost, my planes lost me value, but the KFV-25s, you can see they did very well. The M67 Han, all of those groups did pretty well. Gongbyung, maybe not so much, but a kill on Fallschirmjäger is pretty nice. I mean, these guys are cheaper than Fallschirmjäger by a significant margin. I don't know, all around, it was a grindy, mechanized game. Everything kind of got kills, everything kind of got killed. This is Block 52D, F4F, F4F, F4F. I mean, heck, that's 210 points right there. It works out. So that's all we've got for you guys today. Thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.